Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Apex Racing Academy for the Renault 2.0 Championship here at Okayama International Circuit. I'm Austin I. I'm joined by Marco Barbonera, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Hello Austin, hello everyone, welcome to the penultimate round of the season. I'm filling in for Sam Fitzpatrick, who is absolutely enjoying his time at the Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach today, especially the roller coaster. So instead, I'll keep you company in what is today, of course, the first part of the double header. Thanks to the time change, you don't have to wait 1 hour to go to from the 2.0 to the 3.5, but the Formula 3.5 race will start immediately after we finish this. So, you know, strap yourself on your couch and enjoy this night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world of Formula Renault racing. Like an old school Formula Renault, you know, they used to do this, of course, in the same weekend back in the day. The 3.5 and with the Renault RS01, the World Trophy, basically. It was a pleasant day out for you know, and then of course they all went their separate ways. But you know, enough with the talk, Austin. Here are the championship standings as we enter the penultimate round of the season.
Yeah, the championship standings took a big scramble after last week with that massive four-car crash at the end of the race. Well, our championship leaders, they are really close together. Our top 3 separated by 69 points, but you know, Styx and Winkler, their 2 main protagonists in this championships, they are just separated just by 7. Winkler down, and Pascal Styx has the advantage. They're on the same team, though, but, you know, after that last round, can we talk about last round? I've been dying to talk to you about last round. That insane 5-car crash just threw everything out the wazoo right there, and Christian Glamcenter is our amateur championship leader by a lot. But, you know, we had a surprise winner last round.
Absolutely, Austin. It was a crazy end to the race, and you know, going back to watch it once again, I loved the completely opposite reaction between you and Sam. What the people don't know, of course, is that I was behind the scenes, you know, making even more chaos. So yeah, it was certainly, you know, a kind of unique finish, and I'm sure all these guys want to bounce back from it. Okayama, of course, tonight we have a 3 race format, just like last week, by the way. So it will be 3 50-minute races on the long version, the full version of Okayama. Austin, one thing we know about this racetrack, of course, is that you know, everybody knows this racetrack like the back of their hand on iRacing.
Indeed, and it's going to be a lot of fun here at Okayama. And Okayama is, you know, it's both of one of our favorite tracks. You know, this old school track up here in the hills of Japan. Very classic circuit, but you know, the first sector of this track is so fun. The second sector, that long straightaway, then that heavy braking zone, then the switchback hairpins, and then that final 2 corners running onto the straight. It's a little bit tricky, but first the Mike Knight corner. I'm not biased towards that corner at all. Then that final corner where you actually do have to... It's kind of a hit and miss of that final corner sometimes. Like, drivers do have to back off heading up into there to get the best run, but, you know, on opening laps, that can get pretty scary.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, sorry, Austin, with 3 races, there's 3 times the risk of getting involved into something, and these cars, we know how the drivers like to, you know, because they're not very big, so you can easily stick them wherever you want. But of course, even we saw that last week when the space is over, now there was a problem, of course, on the last lap that they all piled into each other. But and I have to say, for it being one of the scariest racetracks last week, especially because we didn't have the chicanes, and we know at the Variante della Roggia there is a big bump when you go to the no chicane layout. You know, race 3 was when it finally broke, but apart from that, it was pretty clean. Of course, the first proper braking area, which was Lesmo 1, was a bit of an issue, but that has to be expected because you carry so much speed entering there, and again, you're not really supposed to take that line because it's not like the classic layout that didn't have the chicanes. It's just like, you know, given that iRacing is staunchly committed to getting the tracks as they are when they scan them, they had to be creative when creating the alternate layout, the quote-unquote historical layout, which is, of course, less idea. By the way, if you're asking why then you're racing there, because being an Academy series, the series calendar is following the official iRacing calendar. So this week, racing at Okayama in the series and racing at Okayama here, and of course, thanks to the Apex Racing Academy partnership that has with this series, if you sign up to the championship, you get a coupon for a month of Academy, and you can grab the setups for this car done by the Academy coaches. But you are free to use whatever setup you deem necessary. But of course, it's a great training because you prepare for the race in the weekend, and you get ready also for the official races, which are going on every 2 hours in this car. So a great deal, and I encourage you to check out Apex Racing Academy. Many data packs, even for the 3.5, which you will see later by World Championship driver and race winner in the World Championship, Michele Costantini.
Yeah, he is such an amazing driver and really good at making the setups. He listens to the community, and you know, he makes a few test setups actually. At the very start is I remember he was asking, hey, everybody, I upload a setup. Let's talk about it. Do you want your setups to be more very fast and speed focused or focused on stability throughout the race? And he'll do a vote, and that's how he'll approach his setups throughout the season. So sometimes they're the most fastest, sometimes they're safe, but still zooming. And I know also as there's a lot of stuff happening as well on the Apex Racing Academy. My favorite Apex Racing Academy coach has to be, you know, the IndyCar coach. Puts in a lot of detail every race about the track guides, on how to drive the car throughout the race. And you know, I'm biased towards IndyCar a lot.
I mean, we are, of course, don't forget IndyCar coming back on Monday, European Tuesday morning and American Monday evening prime time for another round in the championship. We will be heading for Montreal, so don't miss that. As qualifying is almost over. Pascal Stix, cameras on him right now, trying to improve from his provisional third spot, but for now it's Core Sim Racing 1, 2 and 3 with Loic Barb, the first non-core for the Cube Racing team in fourth. Then we have Christian Glamsetter, who's an amateur driver, but he is in front of Will Ryan and the rest of the amateurs. And then two drivers who I think are serving a quali ban, which are Sebastian Morin and Navid Hussein. And for Navid Hussein, who's trying to get back into the title fight, Austin, not ideal situation.
It's not an ideal situation for those two because Navidi is currently third in the championship. He is 69 points behind Winkler and Stix, but Stix and Winkler, you know, if they just lock down this race right here, I believe it's just going to be them battling for the championship like it has been for most of the season. But, you know, with both of them not going to be starting with them, they're going to have a uphill battle for all three of these races. Well, for this first race and then the second race, they're really going to have to go well as well. Have a good race because, you know, they're going to be starting on a point deficit, really, with starting down there. Unless they get to the front and win the race, then the point deficit will just be, well, they have to close that 60-point gap. As we got 1 minute and 10 seconds left here in qualifying as, you know, we still got cars coming around the track. Pascal Stix coming around Mike Knight corner right now as we're looking on board at Loic Barb. And here comes Stix around the final corner, getting all the way out onto that runoff right here. And Pascal Stix trying to leapfrog his teammate, who's currently sitting in second place, comes across the line. And he does improve on his time, but he doesn't improve on his position as Barb goes wide and stays off the track.
Yes, Austin. Oh, sorry.
I believe that was Lars.
Oh, Winkler improves, but it's not enough. 26.488, it's 0.060 behind his teammate. So, let's see, Barb, he was slowing down, so this is not going to be a good lap. And of course, we are running the heat format. Therefore, the moment the clock hits 10, it's time to be ready for the race. Final few seconds, no one can improve, and so we get ready to go through the starting grid for tonight's race here from Okayama round 1. Austin, here we go with the starting grid.
Yeah, Sven Newman takes the pole position with his teammate Carl Winkler starting right beside him. Pascal Stix to core 1, 2, and 3 starting up at third. Loic Barb in fourth place, followed by Christian Glamsetter and taking the amateur pole ahead of Will Ryan in sixth place. Starting behind them, it's Phil Russell, Rickard Boberg, Hans Verreij, and Lars Fugelord, who I believe has a pit lane start penalty as well for all three races. So, might get to talk to stewards about getting onto the track right there. They're followed by Sean Shipley, Navidi Hussein, the Doctor in 12th, and Sebastian Morin in 13th at the end of our 13-car grid. It's a pretty small grid here today for Saturday, but I know a lot of these guys are a fan of Formula 1, so, you know, there is qualifying going on, and so they might want to be watching that instead of racing again. You know, it's a penultimate round. Sometimes when you know the championship's not indoor grass, we aren't going for the grass. So it's a pretty sparse grid, but hey, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got 3 races, 15 minutes each, planned for y'all here today on Apex Racing TV for the Apex Racing Academy Formula Renault 2.0 Championship as we are getting ready to rock and roll here.
Yes, top 6 inverted, as you can see from the colors on the left side of your screen. So the top 6 of this race will be inverted for race 2. Top 10 inverted for race 3. We'll have to wait the full 2 minutes because we have... Fugelrud, I think, realized his penalty. So he's starting from the pits right now. He'll get a talking to from the stewards because you're still not allowed to qualify if you have a quali ban. So final 10 seconds to wait, and then we will start the red light... starting light procedure.
Yeah, the 5 red lights are going to be on our screen and ready to go. Here they are. As it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's green, green, green here at Okayama as we get underway. It's a good start by Styx from 3rd place all the way up to the 2nd place, around the outside of Winkler. Pascal Styx passes his teammate and looks to pass into the championship lead as he's behind Newman right now. Winkler up behind Ryan and Glamsetter going side by side as well. Glamsetter just staying onto the inside, letting Will Ryan around to the outside. But now look at that. There's Russell down onto the inside. Philip Russell and Christian Glamsetter going side by side. Down to the inside goes Philip Russell. He makes contact. Will Ryan is off into the gravel.
Man, that was a massive netcode. And Will Ryan unfortunately has to pay the price, goes into the gravel, still fighting for the lead. Here comes Pascal Styx on the outside of Neumann, but he has to stay put.
Easy move for Styx right there, and now Newman and
no.
And we got contact. That's Russell, Philip Russell. Well, that could be a karma for what happened in the corner before that, as he's ended up into the wall just like Ryan.
But I think Ryan made contact with Glamsetter, Austin.
No, I believe it was Russell down to the inside.
I mean, contact is a big word, because as you will see now from the replay, there was a truckload of netcode.
See, there's Russell sending out the inside. Wow.
Holy cow.
You could fit I believe you could fit a Hummer in between them and still have room to operate. That is the biggest netcode I've ever seen. What's happened to Philip Russell, though?
That's Glamsetter, the orange car on the left side of your screen. Here they come to the braking area. Oh, he missed his braking marker.
It just got into the grass. Well, that's not how he wanted to start that race. That was a absolutely crazy start for Philip Russell. Probably not going to be looking back onto this race with utmost joys. Here's the replay of Pascal Styx and Sven Newman in that fight for the lead. Just swings it down to the inside, using all that draft and down onto the inside, heavy into the braking zone, and easy as pie. Count that check, send it to the bank, and get $100. Pascal Styx up into the lead from starting in 3rd. And you know, if they finish like this, I believe we'll be even on the points of the championship standings.
Yeah, don't forget we still have 1 drop round that we'll be taking into account. It's been taking into account, of course, as we go along with the championship. But then, of course, next week, by this time next week, we'll have a clearer picture, and of course, results will be will keep you up to date. But that's looking into the future of next week. Let's focus on this week. Navid Hussein and Sebastian Morin, the 2 pros that started from the pits, they're both coming along nicely, and now up to 7th and 8th respectively.
Yeah, they're moving up through the field as they come across the Mike Knight corner. And then into the final corner right here. And the Doctor's on the back of Glamsetter right now. Glamsetter currently 2nd in the AMS. That's Rickard Bodberg up there. And then down to the inside. Here comes the Doctor sending it down there with precision. And Morin's going to follow him right there. Both of them getting up that spot. Glamsetter's not really going to be fighting them. He knows that they are absolutely miles ahead of his pace right now, and he's just focusing on his own race. It's a smart thing to do if you're leading the amateur championship. Don't do anything really crazy. And this is how Bodberg got past Glamsetter. Glamsetter defending onto the inside, Bodberg around to the outside. And is this going to be around the outside move? Yes, it is. Oh, Glamsetter got held up a little bit on the apex right there. There was a little bit of dust on the track, and Bodberg just had the better line right there. And that puts Bodberg up, well, into the lead, and sitting in 5th place.
I don't understand how is it possible that now Bodberg has this massive gap over Glamsetter in just a couple of alpha lap. Not seeing any mistake from Glamsetter, so...
I don't believe he's pushing that hard to catch up to Hussein and Morin. They pulled away. He's getting a lot of dirty air right there, but it wasn't that... I think he might have had a little bit of a mistake heading into the hairpin for Glamsetter.
Sticks, Neumann and Winkler, the top 3 drivers in the race. You see Winkler trying to, his teammates, so they're probably talking to each other as Hussein goes on the attack on Bobberg on the inside. And it's easy peasy for him. And is it going to be the same for Moren? Ooh.
Ooh. I don't think Moren would have been happy about that if that would have gone a different way. But Bobberg getting out into the grass off the exit of turn 1. Caught the back end of his car, shot it across the track. Luckily didn't make contact with there, but that's going to be great news for Glamcenter as Ricker Bobberg off the exit had a bad exit. And here comes Christian Glamcenter for the Amateur Championship lead. Well, he's in that draft and he's catching him now, but Ricker Bobberg, oh man, he must be shaking in his boots after that little bit of mistake.
And
it's
of
only
course,
a 15-minute race.
Yeah, and of course, Austin, by the way, this is big for the Amateur Championship because second in the standings was Russell, if I'm not mistaken, and Russell, of course,
yes.
Off on the first lap is back because you get one fast repair, but as you can see, he is quite a bit behind the rest of the pack. So it's just a matter of surviving. Cannot even hope for the reverse pole because it's top 6. So honestly, he's just going to wait this one out and hope for better luck in the second race, and maybe pick up the pieces of maybe if something happens in front of him from now until the end of this first race.
Absolutely, and he's more than a stone's throw away from this group up here. But our top 3, Sticks, Newman, and Winkler. Carl Winkler currently behind Newman. We saw him look down to the inside heading into turn 1, and they are a part of the same team, but I don't believe there's any team orders in between any of them, and they're all racing with themselves right here. And, they are racing with themselves. They're the only ones in this fight for the lead right now. Their closest competition of Barb is 2 seconds behind Sticks.
So Barb trying to get back to this lead group. To be fair, right now they are not really fighting with each other, therefore it's going to be tough for Barb to catch back. Let's see the lap time comparison, as you can see Barb dropping a bit of time in each of the first 4 laps. Clearly the first lap not really indicative, but you get the idea. Bobberg and Glamsetter, the 2 teammates, as you can see, a bit of an up and down kind of ebbing and flowing graphic for them. Bobbing and weaving.
Absolutely. But yeah, you can see Glamsetter's second lap was absolutely not the lap that he wanted, and he did lose a lot of time right there. And I believe that's where he had that little mistake in the braking zone. As we continue to race on here, 7 minutes have passed. Well, almost 7 minutes remain. Here's we're halfway through this race here at Okayama. Looking at Will Ryan, who unfortunately was involved in that incident at the start of the race. You can see the sparks coming out of the back of his car as it goes over the exit curb after that final corner. I just love that detail so much in iRacing. It just shows you, hey, if you put your car a little bit too low, you will get sparks. But if you go over these curbs, you will see definitely sparks because they are raised up. And I love following a car to seeing sparks shoot up, and then instinctively trying to remember to dodge out of the way when I'm in VR.
Top 3 still keeping their positions as we head into lap number 7, getting through the final couple of corners. Of course, remember the pit entry around here is very, very complicated. Not that these drivers will need it, of course, but just in case they need to serve a penalty, etc. You don't want to pile on your misery by getting additional penalties, etc. So, Sticks, Neumann and Winkler, the top 3. Loic Barb is in 4th, and Navid Hussein all the way up to P5. +7, same as Sebastien Morin, who's up into 6th. And then, of course, the 4 leading amateurs. And then Will Ryan and Philip Russell. Sean Shipley, unfortunately for him, not having the best of luck, Austin. And let's see if we can pinpoint exactly what happened.
I'm going to leave this one all to you, but, oh man.
Yeah, he's coming into... Whoa! Whoa! Big dive from Navid Hussein. And he sent Shipley into the gravel trap. The stewards will have to take a look at that, if it is protested, of course. But
yeah,
it might be raining on... you know, Navid Hussein might realistically be on the chopping block once again for the next round, because that was a very decisive move. And the stewards...
It was. If it was on lap 1, it doesn't have to be protested to be reported, because all lap 1 incidents are reviewed by the admins no matter what, and they will protest it, even if both drivers are totally okay. As Carl Winkler got extremely active on the wheel right there, oversteer correction and catching right there. Carl Winkler, how did you save that?
It was on lap 2, this collision, so...
Okay, it has to be a protested, you would have to protest it.
Yeah, so... But then again, we'll let you know during the week when the protest results are published. So far, for Navid Hussein, is a top 5, and considering where he started, is very good for him. And of course, right now, the 2 drivers that got penalized with a pit lane start among the pros drivers for this race are sitting nicely on the provisional front row of race 2. So, yeah, you know, things can be exciting for the second race for them.
Yeah, the second race is looking really spicy right now. And a lot of people right now are getting pretty risky right now, because I know the core guys, they kind of have a go free roll the final 5 minutes of this race, and hey, we got 4 minutes to go right now. So I'm expecting Newman and Sticks to start battling it out, and Winkler to try to catch up to him. He's already pushing his car a lot, as we saw by the exit of that final corner. The back end getting absolutely loose right now. And let's not talk about the amateur fight for the amateur lead right now. Ricker Bobber and Christian Glamstead are 1 and 2 in their respective championship. And, you know, Christian, he's caught up to Bobberg now. And he's just waiting for that time.
So teammate fight for the lead in Pro and overall, of course, and teammate fight for the lead in the amateur class so far. Let's go back to our overall race leaders as we hit the final 3 minutes of the race, lap time around 1:26. We might have let's see, we might have maybe another 2 laps after this.
I believe so. We're currently looking at 1 minute 27 lap times right now. The times have started to slow up, actually. They're about 5/10, half a second slower, so they are putting some wear in these tires, which you don't really expect when you put into consideration at 15-minute races. But, you know, they do wear these tires out a lot, and, you know, it's 37 degrees out there on track, so it's pretty toasty out there.
Yeah, Japanese tarmac and semi-high track temperatures, not really the best conditions possible, but at the same time, as you were saying, Austin, only 15 minutes. Cars coming across the start-finish line once again. And so we'll have this lap and one more starting right now with Sticks, Neumann and Winkler, all 3 of them. But now Sticks and Neumann especially, first and second, and pulling away from the 3rd place. Lloyd Barb is in 4th. Let's see if just moving ahead, thinking about race 2. And yes, seems like Navid Hussein has got the pace at least to keep up with Barb, if not more.
Yeah, Hussein and Barb, they're really equal on pace, but Barb is looking like he goes in as the biggest pass got Sticks really loose right there. Down to the inside, here comes Newman. Newman and Sticks coming out of the hairpin. Got really loose. I think he might have gone to the grass, and this is a fight for the lead. Newman's got the speed onto that inside line, doing a move just what Sticks does, with Sticks holding around to the outside. He's going to try to battle through the corner. Sticks really loose off the exit. Newman up into the lead.
Great pass by Sven Neumann, and they used the mistake from his teammate to perfection. And of course, when you pass your teammate, you need to be super careful, and he was able to get the job done. Will Sticks respond, and will Winkler be able to come back at his 2 teammates as well? And of course, with 3 teammates fighting for the lead, the level of carefulness you need to have is off the charts. White flag in the end of Barney. And yes, we start the final lap of this first race.
Yeah, final lap indeed. Diving out to the pit wall goes Neumann, and with Sticks right behind him, and Winkler also in the fight as well. Carl Winkler, Pascal Sticks fighting for the championship. Newman's fighting for himself, trying to get into the championship fight, really, but he is far down, as I don't believe he's within the top 5 of the championship. Is Sven. He's had a pretty rough season so far, but you know, he's had moments of brilliantness, and Sven Newman currently now going to be having to show that defensive prowess right now, as he is leading out Sticks through that massive back straight right now, staying onto the outside of the track. The only way for Sven to defend is onto the inside, but he has that pace, but he locks up heading into that corner, and here comes Pascal right onto his gearbox right there. That's around board of Pascal Sticks. We only have 4 corners to go. He's looking down to the inside to sell it a little dummy right now. Newman's been locking up the brakes. Backhand kicks out right there. Backhand kicks out there for Sticks as well. Active on the wheel. 3 corners to go. Look at Carl Winkler. Winkler's back there on Sticks as well. Through Mike Knight corner, and 1 more corner to go. Whoever has the best run out here is going to be winning this race. But it looks like it's not going to be any overtakes right now, as it's going to be Neumann, Sticks, Winkler, 1, 2, 3. Here taking race number 1. It's a core lockout of the podium. Hussein finishes in 5th, and Morin finishes up in 6th place, as he's going to be taking race 2 pole, and taking the amateur win, it's going to be Rickard Bobberg for Crips Racing. In 7th place, they'll be starting in 7th, as they just missed out on the reverse grid pole for race number 2. Verage in 9th. Fungelord finishes in 10th place. Will Ryan is going to finish home in 11th, and Russell is a car that he doesn't want to see behind him. Unfortunately, he will have to see him behind him at the start of race number 2. Russell's going to be finishing in 12th place no matter what, as Shipley is in the pit lane. And if he is back on track for race number 2, Shipley will be starting in 13th.
Correct, Austin, as we're just waiting for Philip Russell to show you the starting grid for race 2. There we go. So this was the last of the running cars. And here we go with the starting grid for the second race of the evening.
Yeah, race 2. Morin is on pole with the Doctor right beside him. Luke Barb in 3rd with Carl Winkler. Well, he finished 3rd last time. Let's see how he's going to start in 4th place, followed by Pascal Sticks and Sven Newman with Rickard Bobberg in 7th. 8th is Christian Glamster. Hans Verreis in 9th, and Lars Fungelord in 10th place. There with Will Ryan, Philip Russell, and Sean Shipley behind them. Top 10 get reversed, so it's pretty much going to be a full grid reversal for race number 3. But right now, we got to see what that order is going to be. We got race 2 underway here in just a short moment.
Yes, greeting everyone right now. With just waiting for Fugelrud and Winkler. Now just for Fugelrud, which I think has another pit lane start. So, but the countdown is only 1 minute, so we should be starting in just a second.
1 second's all you need, as the 5 red lights are getting ready to ignite. Let's light them tires and kick the fire. Light the fires and kick the tires. We're green, green, green here at Okayama for race number 2 at the Apex Racing Academy Formula Renault 2.0. Nobody get mad at me for messing up that Top Gun reference, please. And immediately, Philip Russell's had an issue. It looks like Russell's having connectivity issues. Yes, he is. You see him blinking in and out of the track right now. But up for the lead, everything is ship-shape right now. The only chaos we have is Sticks and Winkler are going at it once again. Sticks gets ahead of Winkler immediately. Up into 4th place. There goes Sticks and Winkler side by side, coming out through that hairpin, and Winkler's on the outside, Sticks onto the inside. Everybody diving down to the inside, just trying to hold off the draft. And that's Hussein the Doctor trying to go for the lead. And now it's side by side for the lead, side by side for the championship lead, as well as that Sticks and Winkler still side by side through the double left-hander. They're still going to be side by side for the lead. Contact with the Doctor and Morin. I'm watching two fights at the same time. I have two eyes for a reason. I'm going slightly crazy. The Doctor looking down to the inside. Once again, he gets a better run. Heading into the first of the switchback of hairpins. Going wide is Morin. And now the Doctor's on the outside. Morin's on the inside. And the Doctor's going to have to get very aggressive. He gets aggressive on the entry, but off the aces a little bit slow. Luke Barb backs off through Mike Knight corner and tries not to battle him through there. But Sebastian Warren and the Doctor, absolutely crazy fight for the lead. They're snaking, bobbing, and weaving down that front straight.
Yep. And what an eventful first lap. So it's Moren from Hussein, Barb, Stix, Winkler and Neumann, your top 6. Boberg and Glamsetter still lead in the amateur class, just like we finished race number 1. And let's see, because they were so close to disaster, Moren and Hussein. We know, especially the Doctor, Navid Hussein, very willing to put himself in a position to make the pass when he wants to. And not really being afraid of taking the extra risks, but Moren was absolutely staunch in his defense and kept the position as the old man Stix almost hitting the back of Barb.
Oh, that would have been disastrous for Pascal Stix and Barb. It would have been great if you were Carl Winkler, but Winkler, as we have an incident, Russell is backwards, pointed the wrong way. What's happened to Russell? Philip Russell. Horrible
nightmare of a race 1 for him, and nightmare of a race 2 for him as well. Let's get the replay up for you and see what happened.
I think he's just gone to the grass. Yeah,
yes, he has.
Did the wheel and right as he was trying to turn in, and oh, that is so unfortunate. Back to our fight for the lead. We got 6 cars in this train. Cars diving out to the racing line as Sebastian Morin staying onto that inside line, and the Doctor trying to hold it around the outside right there, unable to gain any advantage. He definitely had the fastest lap. He had the fastest lap last race. Fastest car out on track right now. Look at the run he's got heading into the S's and down to the inside of the S. And now he's on to the outside into the hairpin, trying to hold it around the outside. Here comes the Doctor. Late onto the brakes. He's got a lot of the camber up the hill going with him right now. It's going to be a drag race, but he's got a teammate down to the inside of Morin. It's Barb. And remember, you can bump draft in these cars, and that's what they're going to try to do. Locked up onto that inside line. The Doctor round to the outside for the lead. Can he make it stick this time by? He gets it all the way out to the grass and still onto the inside. The Doctor is the leader now. What a
fantastic stuff from these drivers. We have a 6-car fight for the lead, and inside of it there is of course the fight for the championship lead you were talking about earlier, Austin, was the Boberg and Glamsetter leading the AM class there in front of Will Ryan. And remember, these drivers will score, no matter their class, will score points for their overall finishing position, so that's why it's important for Boberg and Glamsetter to keep Ryan behind them.
Absolutely, a Bobber Glamsetter, Will Ryan. That is the fight for the overall pole position start for the third and final race here today. But we're looking at the most important fight right now, the fight for the lead between these 6 cars. And here at Okayama, everyone is very comfortable with this track, and that's Will Ryan and Glamsetter going side by side. Glamsetter on the inside, Ryan trying to hold around the outside. Now Ryan's looking for that switchback right now, but Christian Glamsetter not giving him any wiggle room at all. The Doctor not giving any wiggle room at all as he's diving down to the inside, cutting off that bottom line through that hairpin, preventing that switchback from Sebastian Morin. And here he goes down to the inside once more, preventing that dive, and he's going to have to make that move around the outside. And you know, you're risking something when you're putting your car around the outside right there. You're risking of Barb, your teammate, sending it up the inside. Speaking of sending up the inside, Glamsetter down to the inside of Will Ryan. Ryan trying to hold it around the outside. Glamsetter trying to hold it down to the inside. These two are been battling for 8th place, and now Glamsetter trying to send it up the inside, but Will Ryan was just too good right there. And this is great news if you're Bogbird, because Will Ryan has really widened that gap.
He has, and so now there is a car in between the first and the second place cars, and of course you never know, maybe Ryan will get to Boberg and pass him in a more favorable position, so maybe this big, you know, and if I were Ryan, if I were Boberg and I saw that Ryan would be coming for me at high speed, I would let him go, because now, of course, his rival and teammate Glamsetter has lost a lot of time, you know, fighting with Ryan, and Boberg will be able to keep that advantage gained by simply letting him go. But then again, we have the point situation, so let's not jump ahead too much, as here at the front, the top two have slightly, Austin, very slightly pulled away from Barb in third.
Yeah, Barb's falling off the pace right now as Pascal 6 is down to the inside of Barb. Sticks looking for third place. They almost make contact at the end. Pascal 6 down to the inside now. Pascal 6 onto the outside right now. I love this switchback in corner. He's still onto the outside using all the track right there. Sticks round the outside up into third, and now Key, Winkler, and Barb are battling with each other right behind Sticks, and Winkler trying to hold around the outside, unable to make it to it. Unable to make two. Now he's stuck onto the inside with barely enough room to fit a car down there. Winkler and Sticks. Winkler and Barb still fighting through Mike Knight corners side by side through the final corner. They're going to go. Winkler, multiple corners behind now of Sticks. And Sticks, look at that gap they have. Look at the diving all the way to the wall immediate. They're still going to be side by side. Barb is not done with Winkler. Barb trying to hold it around the outside of Winkler, and Barb and Winkler side by side down to the inside they go. And this constant fighting is great if you are Sticks. And ooh, a little bit of contact between Barb and Newman. And now Newman and Barb fighting with each other. Look at Sven Newman. Newman's got the pace, a lot of pace. They're going to go almost three. They are going to go three wide down this back straight. And this might turn out to be disaster. So look at that, Sticks and Morin. Sticks is looking for second place now. He knows his teammate's trying to climb back to him, and Pascal 6 is going for that championship down to the inside, up into second place.
Man, Austin, it's tough to keep up with the action here up front, but now, you know, we have a big gap between the top three and the remaining three, so not good news for Sven Neumann and Karl Winkler, because their teammate Pascal Sticks is on the march, and now we put a decisive gap, I think, between the top three and the rest of the chasing pack.
Absolutely, there is a decisive gap right there, but there's also a points gap as well. Pascal Sticks beat Winkler in race number 1, and he is 2 spots ahead of Winkler in race number 2. If this finishes right here, we will be looking at a championship fight that will be determined by this race. I can guarantee you that.
Provisional pole is for Hans Verheij. Just need to keep the car on the track, because Shipley is 18 seconds behind him. And Fugelrud is in the pits 1 lap down, and Russell is out, so definitely could have, we will have probably amateurs starting at the front in race 3. That's also going to put some extra spice, I'd say, into the final race of the evening. But we still have 5 minutes and a bit left of this one, so let's not get too much ahead of ourselves. Austin, do you think that Sticks has what it takes to get to David Hussein? We saw in the first race Hussein had the pace to, you know, oh wow, I almost jinxed Verheij, but he's back on the track.
Yeah, you almost did. Hussein has been rocketing down that lap time right now, but the current fastest car on the track out of the last laps is Pascal Sticks. He just ran a 1:27.21, and, you know, Hussein's time was 3/10 slower than Sticks. So Sticks and Hussein, they both have the pace to win this race, but Pascal Sticks, he's been making overtakes like they were on sale at a bakery early this morning, because, oh my gosh, Pascal Sticks is on a mission to just constantly finish up in front and just take this championship lead under his arm and call it his own, because that's what he is doing right here. And, you know, that fight and that decisive move that he did on Barb created that gap that he is in this position with this being the top 3 fight, and everybody else in a big group behind. They're 2 seconds behind of Hussein right here, and Pascal Sticks through that hairpin. He's taking it all the way to the curve down to the inside and benefiting off the exit.
Here's the two teammates for Crips Racing, Eric Bober and Christian Glamsetter. We'll see both of them, of course, tomorrow in LGP Fun at the regular start time of 10:30 p.m. Central European Time, or if you prefer 9:30 GMT, or 3:30, because tomorrow
it is 3:30.
Back to the winter clock for you guys as well, Austin. So
yes, it would end this season of confusion and end this Saturday sprint that we got going on.
yeah.
It feels like I'm doing support race commentary at Circuit of the Americas right now, honestly, because after this we immediately got another one.
And this will be the same, of course, next week as well for the season finale. So.
Oh, gosh, dang it. I was so excited.
Because as per usual, our the Apex Racing leagues and Apex Racing Academy leagues don't move, but the iRacing official series moves. So Austin, 3.5 has already moved, so it doesn't move back next week. I'm sorry for you.
And because I'm on the mic, I'm going to mute myself.
It would be perfect if this was, of course, the same racetrack, but we'll pretend it's like this. So don't forget Formula Renault 3.5. Yeah, Formula Renault 3.5 back at Sebring, so the other side of the ocean, basically. Well, not the other side of the ocean, Okay, the other side of the other side of the ocean, of the other ocean.
The other side of the world.
Yeah. And let me tell you, those 3.5s at Sebring today are going to be a handful to drive. It's going to be very exciting. You don't want to miss that. You just have to stay here on Apex Racing TV in, barely 10 minutes after the end of this event, and you will get to enjoy 3.5 action, the official strength of field race for this week. So thank you for subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss the race. Back to the task at hand, because Hans Verai is again around. He should be okay and keep his reverse pole. But this fight for the lead, as we have 2 laps to go right now,
it's closed it down.
Yeah, it's about to get very tasty, Austin. Tasty as the nachos you were eating earlier.
Hey, let's not expose my diet right now, but yes, they were really tasty. And this fight is getting tasty right now, a little spicy. You see Sticks going around to the outside right here, trying to gain more momentum, but it's kind of not worked in his favor, but it's worked more in Morin's favor now. And right behind him, Winkler and Newman are side by side, and this could be very unfortunate for Winkler if Newman's able to get this position, and that's why Winkler is still fighting for it down to the inside. They're almost making contact, and they do touch off the entry, and they're still side by side. Newman is off into the grass, unable to hold it right on the outside of his teammate. Winkler trying to lower the impact that Sticks in second place is going to be, and if Sticks wins, oh man, that's going to be a whole new can of worms for Winkler to try to defend from. Down to the final corner they go, 30 seconds left on the clock. Everybody, I hope you know what time it is. It's white flag time here at Okayama. 1 more lap to go.
I was just about to say that all the season when they fought the Core Sim Racing guys, they have been very, very polite to each other, and they were even now, even though they clearly made contact with one another, but they are still both in the race. And their other, but of course, their teammate, their championship rival, Pascal Sticks, he is smelling some good points gained on them, possibly more, Austin. Let's see, this is a big chance on the backstretch.
Oh, he's got a great run. He's got a fantastic run off the hairpin right there. He learned what to do, not to do last time by. He learned what to do this time. We've seen him do this twice. He looked down to the inside. He's not going to go for the move right there. But looking down to the inside, it is Winkler and Morin. They're going to go side by side through that corner, but it's not going to work out for Morin around the outside. And Sticks is on the gearbox, hounding Hussein. Hussein defending onto the inside. Sticks almost making contact into the gearbox around to the outside. Side by side through the first Hairpin, he's going to go for the switchback move. He's going to go for another switchback move into the second hairpin. Hussein has to keep it tight off the exit. Yes, he does. They are nose to tail right now through Mike Knight corner, getting onto the curves, onto the inside. 1 corner to go. It's going to be a drag race to the line of race number 2. Here comes Styx. Styx has got the speed. Can he get out to the inside? No, he can't. And across the line, it's going to be the Doctor by barely a 1/10 of a second ahead of Pascal Styx. Sebastian Morin comes home in 3rd place. Carl Winkler finishes in 4th. And our race, once again, for the Amateur Championship goes to Rickberg Bobberg, taking 2 in a row.
And this will be your reverse pole sitter. Is going to be Hans Ferrari. We are going to wait for him to cross the line, take a short break, and then we will be back in a bit after this short commercial break of SDK Gaming with the results, and of course race number 3. Don't go away. And we're back live, ladies and gentlemen, for the final race of this evening here from Okayama. But before we go, we have a little bit of a warm-up to tell you about, and more importantly, the results of race number 2, and they will be on your screen right now. And as you can see, the winner was Navid Hussein in front of Pascal Styx and Sébastien Morin for the Cube. The other 2 core drivers, Karl Winkler and Sven Neumann, 4th and 5th in front of Loic Barb. Will Ryan was 7th, and then the 3 amateurs that make up the amateur podium, Richard Bobber, Christian Glamsetter and Hans Ferrari. Hans will start from the reverse pole in race number 3. And Sean Shipley, Lars Fugelrud and Philip Russell. What a terrible, terrible day of racing for Philip right now, as he really needs to get everything back, sorted for race 3. And back with us is Austin.
Yes, I am back. My throat was trying to kill me in the end of race number 2, or I was trying to kill my throat. I'm not sure which way, but, I've got things that'll fix that, so we're good.
That makes me very happy, Austin. And so we had, you know what they say, no? It takes 2 cars to have a race. We have 14, if I'm not mistaken, and we are having quite the races tonight.
Yeah, we have 13 cars on the grid today, and yeah, even with a 13-car grid, race number 1, not really exciting. Race number 2, though, was absolutely end-to-end, this pure action. And,
man.
Lars, well, you know, it is his second week on iRacing, so, you know, we've all done it right there, but that is not how you want to take that corner.
And let me say a big hello to Kambuali-chan, who's not racing with us tonight, but he is in the chat. And of course, last week he was the third place finisher in that crazy race 3. And he had a very nice, you know, I really liked the interview he had with us after the race, because you know, you could hear in his words the passion and the dedication he had put on to get to that result. And it was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Austin, 3rd place in class and 5th place overall. He basically came behind a couple of the stricken cars slash survivors of the big pileup at the penultimate corner. But yeah, so, you know, after that big adrenaline rush, Kambuali, I think, enjoying the show with a drink in his hand. And maybe I know why he's not racing with us right now that I think about it. But we'll wait for you with open arms, of course, Kambuali, for the final round of the season, as everyone. Of course, one more race after this one, the season finale. But before we get there, we have the starting grid for race number 3 tonight. So, Austin, 3 amateurs starting up front. We know these are very quick, respectful, good amateur drivers. So we are not expecting any disaster, but still, we've seen, you know, if you don't get your pass done early around here, you can be stuck and lose the train of the leaders.
Absolutely, and it's going to be Hans Verheij starting up on pole with Christian Glamstader starting right beside him. They're followed by Ricker Bobberg and Will Ryan, our first pro, who is looking for a good finish here today. It's been a nightmare of a day for him so far. They're followed by Loic Barr and Sven Newman, Carl Winkler, and Sebastian Morin. Pascal Stix going to try to make it 3 times onto the podium and pass his teammate for that championship lead, with the Doctor starting in 10th. Sean Shipley and Lars Fuglord at the end of his row, and right behind him, Philip Russell, also looking for a good race here today. And Russell, I think, is going to be interesting to watch, and he's going to have the most red mist out of any cars. But, you know,
but he's not gridding. I think he has already packed his stuff and went back to the hauler because he hasn't gridded. Of course, Lars is not gridding because of his penalty. Here we go, Austin.
I think it was to watch his brother in F1, but it's 5 red lights, and it's green, green, green here at Okayama. What a good start it is by Verheij around the outside, but look for the chaos behind him already. Look, they're 3 wide. Will Ryan up down to the inside and around to the outside. That's caught into the wall. Pascal Stix. Stix got shot into the wall.
Man, oh man, here comes the first surprise of the evening, Austin. Pascal Stix out of the race. It's going to be a big blow to his championship chances. Oh man, look at the chaos around here in the mid pack.
That is so unfortunate. The chaos is still going. You see Carl Winkler is stuck onto the inside. It's a massive pack right there. Race 3 usually get the most chaos. They're both drafted. Hello, Nose. How you doing? Well, it's nice to nose you. And down to the inside, Richard Verheij and Bobberg. They are still going to be side by side. Verheij still has the lead. Richard Bobberg up into 2nd place right here. Glamstader down to 3rd. Barb trying to hold it around to the outside, followed by Norman. Morin and Newman as well. Big switch back down to the inside by Loic Barr, trying to set it up into the hairpin. Everybody's looking down to the inside. It's a convention onto the inside line. I hope you have contact. Newman and the Doctor are in the wall.
I think Winkler stuck his nose on the inside of his teammate and sent him for a ride with the Dr. Navid Hussein. What a disaster for Core Sim Racing. And Winkler, of course, now the only survivor out of the team. And after, but now 3 wide, Austin, and he's around as well.
No. I can't believe what I'm watching. All 3 Core Sim Racing cars involved in a first lap incident, and Winkler has towed it. the championship leaders.
They are all in the pits.
They're all in the pits. Can you make this up? No, you can't. I am losing my mind.
It reminds me of the season finale of Formula E when the two championship
Everybody
leaders crashed, and then they had to do a battle of fastest laps. 3 wide for the lead, by the way.
3 wide for the lead. I can't get over this. This is awesome. Newman and Hussein are battling out of the pits, and it's a big fight in the hairpin by 3 cars. Verizon, Bomberg, and Barb. 2 amps, 1 pro. Absolutely going at it with each other. Down to the inside, Louis Barb into second place. They're so close off the exit. Sebastian Morna almost gets into Ricker Bomberg right there. Will Ryan will get down to the inside of Bomberg now. Going very wide is Verizon, letting these pros off easy right now. But everybody, I can tell you, this top 5 is extremely tense of each other. That was a messy start.
And the Cube guys, of course, popping a bottle of the good one, because now first and second, and their big rivals are, some of them are just coming out of the pits right now. Winkler is still there, sitting in the pits. No, they
still has the toe all the way
you're right. You are right,
Yeah,
because the other 2 guys, Neumann and Stix and Navid Hussein, I think Stix had to tow.
was in lap 1.
Stix had to
towed
tow.
lap 1 coming out of turn 1.
Navid Hussein and Neumann
Hussein
went in,
Yeah,
under their own power.
Yeah.
Oh, Philip
and,
Russell is in the race. Hello, Philip.
Yeah, Russell got out onto the track. He just did a pit lane start. I thought it was to see his brother in Q2, but I think he's listening to him on a exclusive radio feed that we don't have access to. But yeah.
Ryan, Verai, Boberg, now side by side between Boberg and Verai. This is for the lead of the amateur class. So Crips Racing going for 3 out of 3. Glamsetter trying to come back. Glamsetter, the last car, not to have gone through the pits already, but Winkler still in the pits. So
I think he's done. I believe he would have been towed and released by now. I think Carl Winkler just... Oh, there he goes.
There we go.
Yeah, but he's an entire minute behind his teammate. There, Pascal 6 getting past, and there comes Winkler now. So, and Winkler's being lapped by everybody. So
yeah,
Winkler is just waiting for... Yeah, he's letting everyone by. He's staying off to the inside, so putting even more gap between him and Stix. If I can make a prediction, I think that might be the nail in the coffin for this championship fight.
Of course, don't forget... yes, Austin, go ahead.
Because I believe this championship, with this race finish, it will still not be the lowest point finish that Carl Winkler has ever had.
The points, of course, will be visible for everyone at apexracingleague.com. They will be updated fairly shortly after the event, so check that for more infos. And of course, don't miss next week, because that's when we will get the unofficially official results for you as the race ends. Basically, this is a big change from the years from the heydays of sim racing, when you had to wait days to have the results.
Absolutely. The lowest points that Carl Winkler has ever had was 119 points earned, and that was in round 1 at Red Bull Ring, and where he finished actually 3rd. But that's Sean Shipley off the track,
and he loses a couple of positions. He was followed by one of the core guys, lets him past. That must be Winkler trying to get his laps back, and then takes a creative line through the hairpin, and Fugelrud and Russell both go past him, as the 2 Cube guys have really pulled away, Austin.
Yeah, really pulled away right there, and it's going to be a Cube 1-2 unless they, forget the golden rule right there, which we've seen some crazy things happen. And, we've seen teammates making contact with each other. Big lock up by Barb heading into that hairpin. And Morin is right behind him. discounting that gearbox right now.
How hard will the teammates go, Austin, knowing that their biggest rivals are all basically out of the race or certainly out of contention for the win? How do you think Barb and Moran will go, if they will maybe go with Barb, that is a slightly better championship position than Sebastian?
You know, I think they would just still continue to race how they are, because you don't know for certain that all your championship rivals are out. You would have, oh, that's Verizon spinning around, pirouetting across the track. Oh, somehow does not make contact with the wall right there.
He was fighting over second place in the class with Glamsetter.
He took a lot of curb on that inside line, and I've seen so many races ended by there. And Glamsetter, well, he's losing a. We also see him losing a spot, and that it was Rickard Bobberg getting that spot. Oh no, that might have been Winkler. That was Winkler. That was Winkler getting past him. Winkler's a lap down. That's why we didn't see the overtake. As here is our two race leaders. It's gonna be a. I think it's gonna be a gentleman fight between them. You know, they're gonna really have a good fight at one of these laps, but they're not gonna go full out on this fight. They're gonna drive side by side. One's gonna send a move up there, and they're both gonna be having a good time. But currently, right now, they're building that gap, and you know, with 3.7 seconds, you can have a good 2-lap fight, I would say.
Yeah, why not? Why not? You know, it's been a tough. I wouldn't say the easiest of seasons for the Cube guys. They, you know, had some success, but core guys, of course, the standings talk very clearly about it, have been better than them. So, you know, I think they'll enjoy their day in the sun and fight without doing anything too silly, because this is a great chance of a 1-2 finish in this third race of the evening. Here comes Moran. Let me say also a big thank to VRS, another sponsor of the championship, and VRS offers 50 plus data packs, telemetry integration, and one-on-one and group coaching. It's nicely integrated with the Academy, Apex Racing Academy subscription. So if you have the both of them, you get the best of both worlds. Even sometimes 2 data packs, one from each academy, for the same car. So you can even have a choice of setups, so you can compare them, get the one that suits you better, or that simply goes faster. So visit them at virtualracingschool.com for more information. And finally, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this race, big thanks to SDK Gaming that provides us with the beautiful graphics you see on the screen right now, but also works as a streaming overlay for your Twitch streams, and of course as a spotter/strategy tool for your own and your team races, with all sorts of data that can be displayed on your screen as an overlay as you drive. Very, very useful. Fuel calculation, track map, pit stop prediction, iRacing, estimated gain and sadly loss sometimes, battle boxes, lap time comparison, and so much more. sdk-gaming.co.uk for more informations.
Yeah, it's a fantastic tool, and it's a lot of information with that app, and I can tell you it is certainly a amazing app that everyone should try out at one point in their iRacing career. How did he not end up in the wall?
Well, let's see.
Well, heading into turn 1, oh, he just forgot.
And when you go into the gravel, you are a passenger.
Going to the gravel, but wow, he somehow kept it out there, counter-steered into it, and you know, that camera angle that we saw, it was looking a lot faster than it actually did on board. But you know, when you're looking at a camera, you just see a car flying across the track where it's not supposed to go, and that is so unfortunate.
Getting Interesting for the third spot. Sorry, Austin, of the amateur class, with Russell closing in on Fugelrud with 3 minutes left in the race.
Yeah, 3 minutes left, and you know, a lot of spice can be dropped right now. Fugelrud and Russell. Russell's been having a down day, but Russell closing in on the new driver, Fugelrud, in his second Apex Racing Academy race in a second week of iRacing. You know, that could be a big, that is a big difference in skill. As here is Barb defending from Moore. I can say the gloves are for certainly off right now. Moore around the outside. Big look right there, but well defended by Barb.
And Barb was on the inside locking his brakes, and for a second I was afraid he might, you know, drift wide and hit his teammate.
That would have been so unfortunate.
And teammate collisions have been, you know, on the menu both last week and this week, Austin.
Yeah, but, you know, last week that menu was served on the side of dynamite. This one was served more unfortunate with aggression. Last week through a Scary, it was off of a lap car, getting a little bit wide, and them just unfortunately being in a place where they couldn't avoid, and, you know, the top 5 just getting into each other, which allowed Jack Reeve, believe, to... No, it wasn't Jack Reeve, was it?
It was Jack Reeve, yes.
It was Jack Reeve to take, well, his first victory. And, well, we heard it in his voice. He was absolutely over the moon by that, and he still couldn't believe himself.
2 laps to go. And Fugelrud and Russell fight for the podium in the amateur class, fight for the lead in the overall and pro categories. Barb and Moren, round number 2.
Well, round number 2, bobbing and waving immediately. I can tell you the bell has definitely rung to start this fight. And down to the inside once more. Barb defending from Morin. Morin is not really pushing that hard to get up onto the inside and stay with him right there. But he is applying a lot of pressure on his teammate right now. And we have 40 seconds remaining. Big slide for Morin, and I can say that is probably going to be the certain case for that fight for the lead, unless Barb and Morin are slowing up right now. And here's the fight for third place. Fugelrud and Russell. Russell, who's finished last in both races in the Amsterdam class, sends it up the inside for third place right here.
So a little bit of a silver lining tonight for Philip Russell, as he gets 6th place overall and possibly the podium in his class. The white flag has been waved by Barney, and so Lloyd Barb is enjoying a nice day here in Japan, and Glamsetter is off from 2nd in class. Thankfully for him, he has a good advantage over Philip Russell, so he should be okay. But that's not what you want to do on the final lap, Austin.
Yeah, it's not what you want at all in any lap, really, but especially in the final lap, especially if you're trying to chase down, but who's really on his own right there. So you can let your head go a little bit, but in the final race, it's not how you want to end the day on.
As now another little bit of cross promotion, because we have James Pinsker in the chat right now. He should be doing something else, in my opinion, at this moment, but he's the World Championship driver. He doesn't need practice, probably, and he is one of the drivers who we will see in half an hour.
Short time.
Yep, as the cars take the final corner for final time tonight.
Yeah, final time tonight. The checker flag is waving. A last charge by Morin. It's not going to be enough. The weaving has already started. It's a cube 1-2 here at Okayama. Luik Barb and Sebastian Morin take the victory here at Okayama, and Rickard Bauberg takes another. I think he swept the amateur victories here today.
Let me say, great job to Will Ryan after a bad start to the evening. He closes out with a podium. Philip Russell rounds up the podium in the amateur category. As we see the championship contenders, Neumann sign in 9th. Pascal Stix will finish last of the running cars, and Karl Winkler, Winkler last of the running cars, but he has already gone past the start-finish straight. So Pascal Stix, so they will all score points. This is one thing we need to say. They will all score points, but still big surprises in this third race, with all the championship contenders one way or the other being involved in some drama. As we wait for Pascal to come home and cross the start-finish line, we'll get ready to give you the final results from race number 3, and they should be on your screen right about now.
Yeah, race number 3 finished out with Luke Barb taking the win with his teammate right beside him, Sebastian Morin, in second place. Will Ryan finishes in third with a great finish and through the day by him. They're followed by Ricker Bobber, who absolutely swept the day with his teammate Christian Glamsetter in the Amateur Championship. They're followed by Philip Russell, Lars Fungelord, and Sven Newman in 8th place. And then we get into the salvaged races of Dr. Navadi Hussein in 9th place, Hans Verreis and Sean Shipley with Pascal Stix and Karl Winkler, the 1 and 2 of the championships, finishing in the bottom 2 of the bottom 2 of the race. And I can tell you they're going to be looking at the next round with a lot of interest, and it's going to be an amazing time next round. I can definitely tell you, because all these drivers, well, hey, it's the final go-home show for these drivers.
Absolutely, Austin. Speaking of our drivers, we kindly invite you to join us in our Discord. The link should be posted right around the time you hear me saying that, accounting for the delay of the stream. So yeah, we'd love to have the championship contenders. I unfortunately would imagine a lot of the championship contenders after this third race, Austin, not in the best of moods to have a chat with us. But if you want to come in and say hi, we'll kindly and very happily wait. We will happily wait for you, and we'll be very happy for your kindness to join us. Yes, Austin, one race left. Of course, the situation will be clearer in a few hours once we get the results and everything confirmed. And of course, in midweek, when the stewards will give out the penalties, should there be protests. I guess there will be a couple, judging by...
There will be a few.
But, it's always in the city. Do you protest your teammate? Because a couple of contacts we had were teammate on teammate, so maybe not. But, again, it's all done very nicely by our lovely stewards, and we defer to them any decision on what concerns, of course, race control. So the calendar brings us to Long Beach. We will have the A format for the final round of the season. Therefore, we'll have 2 races of 25 minutes each. And of course, Austin, let's not forget the points distribution is the same, no matter if it's a 2 or 3 race weekend. Saturday, I should say.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
It's not like it's not that we have 2 races, therefore less points on the table. Au contraire, we have the same points on the table for next week. And Long Beach, of course, we know, Austin, you know it very well, a racetrack that doesn't allow for laps in concentration.
Yeah, the Long Beach is going to be very crazy. It's going to be very, very crazy, especially if one of the championship contenders has a bad one race. Well, that's one less race that they're going to have a chance to make up those points. And we saw that happen at Red Bull Ring, where we started with a 2-race format. We're going to end with a 2-race format. And, it's going to be extremely interesting how this goes. And Marco, standing by with you, we're going to roll the dice here. It is Philip Russell.
Yes, let's see if we can talk to Philip the first time by this week. Hello, Philip. What a shock. Is a bit of trouble with the microphone as per usual, but oh no, it disappeared. Well, I was so excited. It has become a tradition right now,
It has.
So we'll wait for him. But yeah, Long Beach is going to be certainly an interesting one. And of course, then we'll get the beauty of Apex Racing League. They always have something lined up for the near future. So we'll probably have something scheduled on Saturdays, going forwards. And we'll have Sam back, more importantly, for the final race of the season. You won't have to hear me in that final race. Sam, of course, as I was saying, having fun at the Great Yarmouth roller coaster ride today. So hopefully he snapped some decent pictures.
Yeah, I can tell you, Sam is enjoying.
Phil appeared and then disappeared once again. We'll give him a bit of leeway.
Philip, this is not October. Halloween's over. You can stop scaring us like that.
But before we try again with Philip Austin, let me just give you a little bit of a preview of what's coming on Apex Racing TV in the coming days, because of course we are getting into now the thick of action for the month of November, and as the temperatures outside are getting lower, people you want to stay at home at night and enjoy a cozy evening in front of your TV or your computer watching some racing. So as I was saying, maybe you heard it, Formula 3.5 is coming next Sunday, a big Sunday of racing with a Spec Racer for the Weekend Warriors round 8 at Summit Point. That's going to be at 7:55 GMT. Then again, after in the American evening on Sunday, we're going to have the CKT iRacing Winter Series Round 0 from Laguna Seca. That's going to be at 2:10 GMT. Monday, the IndyCars are back at Montreal at midnight GMT. We talked about that. Don't forget, tomorrow morning you need to change the clocks if you live in North America, unless you live in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, and another place. Hawaii, I think, doesn't have daylight saving. Correct me if I'm wrong, Austin. And then on Tuesday, the Apex Racing League GT3 AM Trophy Round 4 from the Hungaroring, 8 GMT. And on Friday the 12th, the Radicals are back. Week 9 from Road Atlanta, 9 GMT. Saturday, we have a charity race in the morning, and we also have that the details are coming in the morning, in the European morning, Australian race, that one. And then we are back for the season finale here of Formula 2.0 from Long Beach, and at the same time, half an hour later than we start here, we have the Finding Speed GT3 League from Suzuka. That's going to be 8:30 GMT. And of course, week 9 of the Formula 3.5 Red Bull Ring. Next day we have the Weekend Warriors from Zandvoort. So I'd say it's time to wrap up the show, Austin. I'm sorry for Philip, who really tried to come here and have a chat with us, but keeping in line with the tradition. And we are very, very quickly going to strap ourselves onto a rocket booster and fly to Sebring.
Yeah, absolutely. We booked a SpaceX flight right now. We'll see you in a little short while at Sebring. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Apex Racing TV for another wonderful round of the Apex Racing Academy Formula Renault 2.0s here at Okayama. I've been joined by Marco Balbonera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.